Kenya's president-elect was voted for by the youths and the church. The outcome of Kenya's presidential election was discussed on Arise News this morning. Tudun Abiola, Reuben Abati, and Rufai Oseni shared their opinion concerning the election. While speaking, Tudun Abiola mentioned that the newly elected president was able to gain the support of Kenyans by telling his grass to grace story, and this made a lot of Kenyans like him because they can relate with his story, and the story gave them hope that they can also get to the top. Tudun Abiola also mentioned that apart from the votes of the youths, William Ruto also relied on the votes of the church. She said William Ruto always talked about God during his campaign, and he went to a lot of churches and the church came through for him by voting in his favor. In his favor? Okay, it's giving a lot of red flags. Another thing to notice is the inclusion of Kenyans in the diaspora. In the just concluded election, Kenyans in other countries were able to vote for their favorite candidates. Oh wow, that is actually really good. Prisoners are also allowed to vote. Tudun said Nigeria should... If prisoners were allowed to vote, I am questioning the validity. Please, no disrespect, but prisoners are allowed to vote. Not that they don't have a right to, but prisoners are allowed to vote. Yeah, must have been compromised. Well, Tudun said Nigeria should also look into the inclusion of diaspora voting. I guess that's the only thing I've agreed with so far. Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, okay, fine. To a very large extent, those in diaspora do have their opinions, and you can't really. I can't say I can give an overall view of what the overarching vote would be, but I think that's also a very. I mean, if we really need the numbers to change and turn the tide, I mean, that is very that would be very impactful, to be honest. But knowing the government that we have, we are even trying to consider even looking to how we can account for the votes to, the votes we're actually going to vote in the country, because INEC in itself has not been reliable, has not proven to be reliable, and so just the validity of that alone is already stressed, let alone figures online. That's giving stress, and obviously also prone to manipulation. A lot of discussions to have here, but listen, you might as well just say that it's obviously the tactics is used is not necessarily different from what a lot of Nigerian politicians would use in terms of what they want. But I think, again, what has been said so far, yes, might have been the way the Kenyan president-elect got into office, but the problem is obviously not the problem. You can actually say that the church does have a big impact, and given that the fact Nigeria is a very religious nation, it's not abnormal to have a lot of politicians go to religious leaders and ask for prophecies and ask for blessings, and of course all that. And again, it's sort of how you win the public, right? And I think Nigerians are out of... Listen, it's not even a thing of... Even Peter Obi, I don't think he's convincing enough. I think Nigerians just know what they want and are really much deciding, you know what? Are you fit for the job? That's why we're choosing you. Nigerians have heard everything. They've seen the manifestos. What have Nigerians... What have they not seen? So it's not about you coming with your character and your grass to grace story. Maybe it may work for them, but Nigerians have gone past the point of hearing some grass to grace story, because really and truly, every Nigerian has a capacity to be the best that they want to be. And if they leave the country, I mean, come on, they literally excel beyond, comprehension. So really, the tactic that, that William Ruto has used will not necessarily work. However, given, religion and the church, I don't know. So obviously, religious leaders need to understand and have some thinking, because as much as, it may be fortunate or unfortunate, religious leaders do have a very big influence. And so, as I said, the church voted in his favor. Are we favoring him to be president? Because I don't understand. You know what? If it's in that regard, then I guess the people should be entitled and say, you know what? We did you a favor by voting for you. But then in our country, with the audacity and the entitlement, if you have... Listen, we already have candidates that have literally excluded out a whole religion, first of all, with a mix of, of vice presidential candidate, and you already have desperate and entitled candidates, the Emilio Con, it is my turn, and the one that has never won since he's been contesting for over how many years. If you count the years he started, running for presidency, you count it all. You have even a population of Nigerians that have gotten their PVC not to vote for him. So do you understand now? So now it's not a thing where it's like, listen, we already have the desperate ones that I would say these stories. They're already entitled. They believe they're meant to be there, and that is who you want to vote for. In conclusion, the fact is the people that matter. And if we're really going to say that this is that numbers really matter when it comes to the politics, then we cannot rule out the fact that religious leaders do have a very, very big influence, and what they say can really be break or make, whether for them or just for whoever is following them and believes what they say is final. But yeah, I think Nigerians obviously are, I think they're engaging in more of a screening process. Of course, campaigns will start soon, and the talks would fly around, but I think Nigerians are also looking for what they want and what they feel is the best for them. So in terms of grass to grace story, I'm like, it's not, no one's gonna buy that. I don't think Nigerians have time for that. I don't think Nigerians are angry enough yet, in my personal opinion. I don't think they are aggressive enough yet to take and make that change, but we're definitely getting there. And the way we're getting there is not to fall for some, from BS stories, really. Like, grass to grace. Listen, we already have grass to grace stories that are not in politics, so it's not the first time Nigerians would hear of that. Let's get the comment section. The same may happen in Nigeria. Well, the same has happened in Nigeria, to be honest. The good work God started in Kenya, he may perfect it. I pray Ruto will not disappoint the people. Well, I feel like, I don't think I'm very much versed on or I'm not necessarily knowledgeable on the electoral process, but hearing that the church voted in his favor is giving me red flags, because it shouldn't be in his favor. It should be in the favor of the people and the church, that we put you there because you're there for whatever reason that they want, but it should be about them because they are the people and he is there to serve them, the people. So, another individual just says Peter Obi's strategy. But again, really, Nigerians already know what they want. So whether it is strategy or not, Nigerians have found that given the options that they have, he is best suited and they will run with him. It's as simple as that. And of course, Peter Obi has obviously been to churches where, of course, was it Dunamis? Where, he was introduced and the church was, the church issue went haywire. The Muslims are more in Nigeria. The elderly are the ones who come out to vote in Nigeria. Ruto has structure and network all over Kenya. He has been in government and in power since 1993. Well, you can say that, but then obviously, to be honest, I can't really say I have a strong opinion on if William Ruto is the one. I'm not necessarily versed with Kenyan politics, but as this individual has said, Muslims are more in Nigeria, first of all. But then we've also seen that in some northern states, people have also come out to support Peter Obi as well. So really, it may be the change. 2023, as much as I say Nigerians may not be as ready, I think that, to be honest, 2023 is make or break, to be honest. Like, it really would determine the strategy of how we're going to move things, and really if we can lose hope or not.